I started my painting journey with watercolors because it felt like the safest type of paint to do at home from a mess and cleanup perspective. Somewhere along the line, I learned about gouache paint, which is a close relative to watercolor. I had a set for a really long time that I didn't like because it felt really messy. When I set up my art corner last year, I decided I wanted to try gouache again, and I got myself a large set of gouache in tubes because it felt less messy. It cost about $27 for 36 tubes of paint, and I thought that was a good deal. It had a lot of different colors, and I really don't like mixing paint colors. I didn't go to art school, and I don't have a great grasp of color theory. Like when I mix blue and red, I never quite get purple or not what I picture as purple. It always looks a little bit muddy even when I'm using a perfectly clean water on a perfectly clean brush. So I like that the set had a whole bunch of pre-mixed colors that I didn't have to think too hard about. But then I see these other gouache painters on here painting layers on layers, and their layers seem more opaque than mine. And I ask myself why I can't get my gouache to be quite so opaque. It honestly just feels like I'm painting with a brighter watercolor when I use it. So I decided to spend a little money and try some different gouache paints this year. Winsor& Newton is a brand I recognize from some previous online beginner watercolor groups that I was in, and so I thought that I would try a couple of different types of their paints. I also decided to try a couple of their paint brushes. So this will begin a short series of testing out some different paints and brushes to see, is the extra money worth it? Does my gouache become more opaque when I spend more money? Do my paintings become more beautiful? I did spend my own money on all of these supplies. This is not sponsored. I am not even making money on posting these videos. I just want to share what I'm learning while I'm on my journey, and I hope that it helps others interested in painting with gouache too. Feel free to follow along by clicking the buttons and watching as I share what I learned from this process.